What is the proper way to clean an oven with Easy-Off Oven Cleaner? That's a great question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, in order to answer today's question, I'm going to do a quick product review on Easy-Off Fume Free Oven Cleaner by Reckitt Benckiser. Now, Reckitt Benckiser is a company that is about an £8.5 billion company and has 23,000 employees worldwide. And they're responsible for about 19 of the famous brands of things that are already in your home, like Airwick air freshener and Scholl's, which are supports for your shoes, Schiff vitamins, Claricel, Vanish, Finish, and Easy-Off. So they're responsible for a whole bunch of things, but you already know their name. All right, now the Easy-Off brand is the one that we're going to talk about today. It comes in several different versions. This one is a heavy-duty version, and this one is fume-free. Now, let's not pretend that it's actually fume-free. Let's pretend that because it's an aerosol, something that we know about all aerosols is that in order for the chemicals to be effective when sprayed, there are certain things they have to do to those that create fumes. So there will be fumes, even though it says fume-free, okay? So just so you're aware of that, I want you to be prepared with your proper work smart, not hard tools. Now, if you're a professional house cleaner, there are things that you are going to do when you're talking to a customer about cleaning their oven. And if you are a professional house cleaner, you probably charge an extra $30 to $50 for cleaning an oven. And that's a very good price for cleaning an oven because it's going to take about an hour of your time. The important thing when talking to a customer is to set realistic expectations. Because if a customer has a 15-year-old oven, it's not going to look brand spanking new when you're done. You do not want to promise that, even if you have great tools. You want to make sure that they are aware it's probably going to look 95% better, but it's not going to be 100% looking brand spanking new. So don't promise that. And then give yourself about an hour of time, even though it may take a little less than that, it might take a little bit longer, but you want to give yourself at least an hour of time to clean out the oven. All right, the thing that we want to know is the proper tools and how do you do it properly. Okay, so let's move on to that. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that in your kitchen you have proper ventilation. So we're going to open all of the windows and all of the doors so that as we spray the spray, that it's not going to suffocate or asphyxiate anyone. All right, in order to do that, you're going to just simply take off the lid, you're going to shake it, and then you're going to hold your spray about 9 to 12 inches from the walls and the floor of your oven. You can also clean the ceiling of the oven, but make sure that you don't spray it on the elements of the oven, and that also you don't want to spray it on the pilot lights either. But this is also a good chance to check to make sure that the pilot lights are not burned out. And if they are burned out, you want to make a note of it and take a picture of it before you clean the oven. Because as a professional house cleaner, you don't want to get blamed if the pilot light burns out. Now, if you are able to swing this, get the customer to spray the spray inside the oven the night before you arrive so that it can set all during the night. Then when you get there in the morning, you can do all the dirty work and clean it up. All right, now this particular brand, one of the reasons I chose this fume-free version is it goes on cold. In the olden days, you would have to heat up your oven, and one thing that we know about aerosol cans is you do not want to get any aerosol can around heat or flames. So it always seemed a little counterintuitive to me that you would heat up the oven and then you would spray an aerosol spray inside the oven, right? That doesn't seem right at all. So this goes on cold, which is lovely. Your customer can open the door, open the windows, they can spray it inside, close the door of the oven, and leave it for you for the next day. All right, now the work smart, not hard tools are these. Very first thing that you want to do as a house cleaner or a homeowner, if you're cleaning your own oven, is you want to make sure that you have clothing protection. For this, I just use this old household apron. It just goes over my head and it protects the front of my clothes. So we'll get to see me wearing this later, but have something like this to protect your clothes because you don't want to ruin your clothes over just an oven cleaning, right? Then you're going to also need a great big bowl that you're going to use on the final stages to clear out the junk at the very end. We're going to use some hot soapy water. And with the hot soapy water, we're going to use some old cloths. These are just cloths that we use, we toss them in the washing machine, and we save them for projects like this. All right, another thing that we're going to need once the spray is on there in order to collect all the junk and pull it off on the first run is just a roll of paper towels. And I prefer Bounty towels for this project. They're super strong. They come in the select a size sheet, and you can go ahead and use as many or as few as you need. And as soon as you pull out all of the junk from the oven, you're going to want to just throw these away. So these I wouldn't use cloths for, I would use paper towels. Another thing that we're going to use for this particular project, and if you're going to a customer's house, are a couple of SOS pads. These come in a box that say SOS on them, and I'm not going to do a product review on those today. We'll do that another time. But these are just steel wool pads that when they get wet, they are soft enough to scrape anything that's left on the walls without damaging the enamel. So we don't want to use regular steel scrubbies, and we don't want to use pumice stones. So we only want to use the soft, wet SOS pads. So those are your Work Smart, Not Hard tools. We're also going to use our nylon OXO deep clean brushes. We talked about these in another episode, but in order to scrub the grates on the side of the walls and the oven grates themselves, we're going to use the strong bristles of the larger of the two brushes. And then as we clean around the rims of the door and around the seals around the door, we're going to use the spatula end of the smaller brush. So our Work Smart, Not Hard tools for the oven cleaning. Now for personal protection, once we have our apron on and we have all of our cleaning supplies, we're also going to put on a pair of glasses. These are just clear glasses that are going to protect our eyes from fumes. And that allows us to do our job without us getting watery eyes and that kind of thing. Because it is an aerosol spray and because there will be fumes, it's going to affect your eyes if you are in there for 20 or 30 minutes cleaning everything out. So you just want to protect yourself. We're going to protect ourselves also with a pair of nitrile or latex gloves. These are powder-free gloves. These are just regular cleaning gloves and they're disposable. So at the end of the job, you'll just peel these off and throw these in the trash. But this is going to protect your hands from anything that might get on there. All right, also, we're going to use a disposable face mask, and this has a little tiny wire at the top of it, and it has two earpieces. So we're going to stretch this around the face, wrap this around the ears, we're going to pull this down over the chin, and we're going to pinch the top of the nose. That just reframes so that it fits your face. Now you're good to go with your protective equipment, and this protects your face, your apron will protect your clothing, and the gloves will protect your hands. So that will be our protective equipment while we do this job. Are you ready? If for some reason you should get this in your eyes while you're cleaning your oven, make sure that you flush your eyes with plenty of water, and if you're wearing contacts, take out your contact lenses, lift the upper and lower eyelids and flush with water so that you don't have any debris in there or so that it doesn't sting. And if you inhale it and the air is bothering you, you may want to take a break and go outside where there's some fresh air. Maybe there's another door you can open and create a little bit more ventilation. Now, Easy-Off is a flammable aerosol. And so we don't want to pretend that it isn't, but you shouldn't have any problems because you're using it in a cold oven. If you do something stupid and you heat up the oven while you have the can nearby, there is a risk of a fire, so you don't want to do that. If for any reason you start a fire, you want to turn off the electrical outlet where the oven is plugged in. And by that I mean either unplug it or flip the breaker. It's probably in the garage near or on the other side of the kitchen. And when it comes to safety for handling and storage, this is a pressurized container. So you want to protect it from sunlight and you don't want to expose it to temperatures exceeding 50 degrees Celsius. And you don't want to pierce or burn even after use. And because this is a sealed aerosol can, it's unlikely that someone is going to put something else in the can than what is advertised on the outside of the can. But just for your own information, it is a liquid, it's white, and the odor is lemon-like. It has a lemon scent. It is a stable product, and that means under normal conditions and storage and use, no hazardous reactions should occur, but it is hazardous when mixed with other things. So you don't want to mix it with any other cleaning chemicals. You don't want to use anything else when you're cleaning your oven. This is the only cleaning solution that you want to use. The toxicological information is it is not classified as a long-term toxic product because you're not going to be using it over prolonged periods of time. The irritation is that it could bother your eyes, moderate to severe. It could bother your skin if it gets on your skin. And it did get on my skin. And it just pinched a little bit, almost like if you were to put a piece of Scotch tape where it pinches your skin a little bit. And then I just realized, oh, hey, I bumped up against the side of the oven and I got some on my arm. And then I just washed it off and I was fine. So it didn't break out or, cause hives or anything weird. And that's kind of about the expectation you would get. It just might pinch your arm a little bit. And then you're like, oh, hey, I got something on my arm. And then you wipe it off. The ecological information is this product is not healthy for fish tanks. So you would not use this to clean a fish tank, for example. But other than that, there are no known significant effects or critical hazards that you need to be aware of as far as the environment is concerned. And when you decide to throw the can away for disposal considerations, it says waste packaging should be recycled, meaning you should put this in your regular garbage can in accordance with your federal, state, and local environment control regulations. Now, something that's interesting about this particular product is regulated by the Department of Transportation. It is considered a flammable aerosol, and so it cannot be shipped via air. It has to be shipped via ground. So you are not going to be able to buy this and have it immediately shipped to you the next day. It will take a couple of days if you buy this on Amazon, for example. So just give yourself a little bit of time between jobs if you are having it shipped, or pick up some at your local grocery store so that you can avoid that time delay if you have a customer coming up. This product has been listed with the Clean Air Act as a hazardous air pollutant, and so you want to make sure that you use this according to the directions that are on the can. If you use it outside of the regulated conditions, it could cause some air and breathing problems. So you want to use it exactly as directed. When you're done with it, you're done with it. All right, if you follow those instructions, you should be just fine and have a nice, tidy, clean oven. So it did a pretty good job, right? Now that we've had a chance to see how the Easy-Off works, I do recommend this product as a quick, easy fix to cleaning your oven, especially after the holidays or between the holidays, as a quick, easy oven cleaning. Now, one thing that I do want to recommend is this product is safe for self-cleaning ovens. And what that means is if you ever decide you want to use your self-cleaning oven again, this will not damage that enamel coating that allows that to do the self-heating process. So you do want to run your oven for about 45 minutes to kind of burn off whatever chemicals are in there. And I would say a high temperature, 400 or 500 degrees, so that it burns it off before you ever try to use your self-cleaning cycle again. Also, before your next meal, you may want to run it for a few minutes at a high temperature, just so that if there are any residues of chemicals, it burns that off. Anyway, it's a great way, great fix for a quick, easy oven cleaning. And another thing that I do want to mention, the safety data sheet is designed for industrial use. It's not designed for consumer use. All of the consumer instructions that you need and the warnings are on the back of the can. So if you are unsure or if you forget what we talked about today, read the back of the can and follow the instructions. And remember that we want to use our work smart, not hard tools, and I will leave links in the show notes to all of the tools I recommended, just so you don't forget when you're cleaning your oven next. Now, I want to hear, how do you clean your oven? What do you use? What chemicals do you use? What sprays do you use? And have you tried this? Alrighty, until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.